means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
My first NBA game. Can't believe it's finally here. You work your entire life for something, and then when it's right in front of you, it's almost hard to believe. But I'm ready. And now it's time for me to show everybody I belong and do my best to represent Harlem.
Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. Kevin Harlan here along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Coming in off the road, the Pistons are back in Detroit for this game.
Of this young man. He's worked so hard to achieve this goal.
Yeah, and the future's bright for him, Greg. Not just tonight and not just this season, but for years to come.
Taking a look at the Jazz. Exum and Hood are the young guard tandem. Freak is out there with Booker, and it's Ingles in at the 3 slot. And so, lots of scoring in that competitive first quarter. Jazz lead by 3. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective for most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production on the court?
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And guys, from what we've been watching with the Jazz, what are you guys seeing out there?
Just almost an intimidating factor when you're able to go out and consistently come up with the block shots like they have defensively.
Well, what happens is shooters begin to start looking for the shot blockers, and it does intimidate them.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter to play. And Detroit looking at who they've got. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. The big men, Tolliver and Drummond. And it's Morris in at the small forward position. Reggie Jackson had made some noise about wanting a big contract to be moved last year. Ultimately, he was traded to Detroit.
Yep, Kevin traded from the Thunder to the Pistons, and it actually happened on deadline day.
Utah leading. Here's Hood. Pass to Ingles. Here's Booker, and he banks in the layup. Booker's got 6.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
It's Jackson with the drive. From 11 feet away, Utah with the rebound. Booker's got 5 rebounds tonight. Plenty of space, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. And now a 5-point Jazz lead. Morris outside. The dish to Caldwell Pope. Outside Jackson. Pass to Morris. 5 to shoot. Caldwell Pope kicks to Morris. Drummond dishes to Caldwell Pope. Detroit, no good that time either.
Well, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Here's Hood. Inside, here's Freak. Again, the Jazz score. And what a feeling it's got to be for this young player is that last bucket represents the first official score in the NBA from Freak.
Yeah, and he's playing it cool right now, but let me tell you, I'm sure that basket means the world to him. There's nothing like the first one.
My thought is he's probably just happy to have it out of the way. I mean, no more waiting and wondering when it'll come. Those first points are finally in the rearview mirror.
Ingles passes to Hood. Lets it go with the three. Good. Hood's got his second bucket of the night. Well, the Jazz look like the team we're used to seeing for so long last year. A big part of that was how they dictated the pace, Greg, of the game.
Very good point. I mean, the Jazz did a great job of slowing things down and avoiding turning things into a trap.
And we've reached halftime in this one. It's the Jazz. They stormed through the end of the quarter on a 9-0 run. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter.
Okay, guys, let's focus and get down to business. Now, here's a few things I took away from the first half. We were able to throw off their offensive rhythm with good ball pressure and heads up deep. Let's keep picking their pockets and jumping in those passing lanes. On a good note, our passing has been very smooth. You've set each other up with some really nice assists. That's strong team basketball. Let's keep it up. And what I want to see more than anything is everyone working together to get open looks. Let's use picks. Let's keep the ball moving around. And when we get someone free, let's get it to them. That's it for now, guys. Let's go get that W.
Ladies and gentlemen, and it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Nice game. Great performance by Brandon. And a different look here for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Ilyasova. Johnson comes in for Marcus Morris. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Meeks. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Brandon Jennings. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Freaks checked in for Gobert. Booker comes in for Derek Favors. Miles checked in for Burks. And it's Dante Exum in for Trey Burke. And so in the game for the Jazz, Freak, he's in at center. Miles out there with Booker. Then it's Exum. And it's Hayward in at the 2 guard.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge, always.
Here's Drummond. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. Drummond's got 9.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Over to the left wing. Freak sets a screen for Exum. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Exum's got his second bucket of the game to go. Pistons trail by 6.
And, you know, guys, Dante Exum is such a fluid, versatile athlete. Really shows great promise. Has tremendous size and length for a point guard. Can also play the 2. His rookie season last year, though, a mixed bag.
And that one's good. Drummond.
Wow, has he flipped a switch at halftime. Much more effective here in the second half.
Lyles passes to Exum. And Booker kicks to Hayward. He feeds it to Freak. He dishes it to Exum. No good on the 3. For Dante Exum, Greg, last season he didn't shoot the ball that well, and his turnover rate was what you might expect from a rookie, but his defense was good. In fact, borderline excellent at times.
That's a great point, Kevin. And you know what I like about Exum, when his shot wasn't falling, he didn't allow it to affect the other facets of his game. He would find ways to contribute, and that's the kind of attitude that so many scouts got excited about when they were talking about this guy in the first place.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense, and that's a good strategy when you're on top.
Here's Drummond. Hayward grabs the board. Hayward's got 6 rebounds here tonight. To the inside. Here's Freak. Good work defensively by Johnson.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Jackson kicks to Caldwell Pope. This one for 3. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got 6 assists in the game. And as we end the third quarter, a great game. Both teams playing well. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far. And so the big win by Detroit in a tight game. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin, and now let's move on to the presentation. Brandon Jennings. He was the steady and reliable hand throughout the game tonight, stepping into more of a leadership role in this performance tonight.
He played his heart out tonight, guys. You could see the way he was constantly drawing contact.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me, and
Oh, man. Anthony Davis. One of the most unique talents in the NBA. I see a lot of myself in him. And I can't wait to face him and see if I can get the upper hand. I know I'm still a rookie, but it's the ultimate test to see where my game is at right now. And I live for these moments. So bring it on, Brow.
The Utah Jazz have a Western Conference contest on their hands as they prepare to defend the home court at the Energy Solutions Arena here in downtown Salt Lake City, Utah. Welcome to what should be a great Saturday night for the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. This is the last stop for the Pelicans. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Anderson outside. He kicks to Pondexter. Screen by Oshick from outside the arc. Utah with the rebound. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
And the issues they had defensively, in part, I thought, was a huge factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was a road game for them.
Well, you know, they gave the crowd a bunch to cheer about. And when you do that, you put yourself in a really tough position trying to come away with a road win.
A nice shot by Booker.
Boy, I tell you, I thought the Jazz had a big year last season. Looked much... tougher than before. A big part of that is how Coach Quinn Snyder helped the team grow. I mean, he looked like a perfect fit in his first year with the franchise.
New Orleans moving the ball around. Anderson kicks to Cole. Shot clock at 5. For the 3. No good.
And that's playing into the hands of the defense right there.
No way you can sneak that shot by him, Greg. I mean, he was all on top of that one.
And a moment here to check out the stats for Hayward. What a run he's been on over the past few weeks. Averaging 22 points per, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And impressive numbers, no doubt. It's the kind of run we've come to expect from him.
Synergy. All elements working together. The game is coming easy to him right now.
Exum hits them both.
And for Dante Exum, the first point guard chosen in the 2014 draft, number 5 overall, actually, he was taken over 2 other very talented and arguably more proven point guards coming in, those being Marcus Smart and Elfrid Payton.
Hood gets the bucket. Hood's got his first bucket of the night. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Jazz.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And also, how about the fact defensively they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Perkins with the screen. Cole dishes to Perkins. Good. And talking about Dante Exum last year, he showed scouts were right when they said he isn't a finished product. He only shot 35% from the field. Put up much smaller numbers than other top rookie point guards like, Smart and Payton.
But looking 3 or 4 years out, you may be singing a different tune. And, Kevin, I think that's what the projections are when you look at this young man. He has length. There's a smoothness and a feel for the game that's raw, but still elite. That's why many scouts would still today take him over any other point guard in that draft.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
And so here is New Orleans. Still looking for their first basket since the first quarter. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season.
And looking back to last season, they won this season series as you'd expect.
Yeah, there's a reason they were a playoff team. I mean, they beat the teams they were supposed to. We'll see if they can do it again tonight.
Burke and Exum in the backcourt. Favors is out there with Freak. And it's Hayward in at the small forward position. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz.
And he is the ultimate when it comes to being a floor leader. on the offensive end.
Yeah, you know, he's got a little bit of Greg Anthony. In it, and he has been that leader today. I think he's done a really nice job of moving the ball and distributing it the way it needs to be done.
Well, Clark, I'm glad you referenced specifically why you thought he had a little Greg Anthony. I thought you were talking about his knees, my man. He looked a little hobbled out there for a moment. And Anthony Davis, growing up in the rough south side of Chicago, because of the violence, his father didn't let him venture to the playground. Instead, he built a basketball court in the backyard. This young man has come a long way.
Now, here's Exum, defended by Gordon. Freak sets a screen for Exum. To the paint, it's tipped. Favors, and Davis pulls it down. Davis has got his 4th rebound in this one. Holiday, the pass to Davis. Evans goes in. Here's Ajinça, and Derek Favors pulls it down.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And it's Freak missing. Pelicans trail by 14. On the wing, Evans. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. 6 points for Tyreke Evans. For Utah, they've gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Hayward against Evans. Hayward goes in. Pelicans with the rebound.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Evans, right side, lets it go from deep. Missing that scoring opportunity, having a bad 3 for 9 shooting night.
Oh, a tough quarter for him offensively. He hasn't been able to give his team a lift when they need it.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They have got to figure it out.
All right, fans, I want everyone here in the arena to get on up out of your seats and make some noise for your Jazz dancers.
Let's take a second to see the teams that have been the toughest inside this season so far. .146 left in the first half. Dishes it to Ajinça. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. Evans has got his 3rd assist on the night.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Here's Freak, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. Well, what a second half of the season it was for the Jazz. After the All-Star break, they went on a rampage.
And the catalyst for that was the defense. I mean, very few opponents got to triple digits against the Jazz after the All-Star break.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Gobert, he's checked in for Favors. And it's Burks in for Trey Burke. Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for New Orleans.
Move the ball. Sticking too much.
Exum with it. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Shot clock at 6. Feeds it to Hayward. From deep. The shot is off. Now New Orleans will take it the other way.
And for the Jazz and their defense post All-Star break, it helped them in their big second half run. How about a 422 field goal percentage against after the break?
Evans, right side. The drive by Gordon. That one drops for his second bucket. Mark him 2 for 4.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Jazz leading by 10. We've got 22 seconds left here in the second. Hayward against Evans. Hayward outside. Shot from free throw range, and he gets the bucket. Hayward's got 7 points here in this quarter.
And that kind of sums up the defensive effort we've seen here tonight, guys.
Holiday inside the line, and no good trying to get that one. And so that brings the first half to a close. It's the Jazz up.
Yes, guys, I'm here with Anthony.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first two. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Freaks checked in for Rudy Gobert. Lyle comes in for Derek Favors. Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Gordon Hayward. And it's Exum in for Trey Burke. So for New Orleans right now, Anderson is out there with Omer Ashik. Then there's Quincy Pondexter. Then it's Norris Cole. And it's Perkins in at the center position. Here's Burks. Drills the three-pointer. Burks has got 7 points.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half. Boy, for Alec Burks, he really started to put it all together in his third season. He doubled his scoring average, shooting percentage was up. Then last season, a strong start, but a shoulder injury cut short what I thought was going to be his best season yet.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
New Orleans making a switch here. Holiday's checked in. And back to Alec Burks, a guy who entered the league with raw talent, but once the light went on, Greg, he showed the ability to help his team in a number of ways.
Yeah, he's going to be the prototype in terms of a two-way player. He's a guy who can not only score it for you, but he'll rebound and defend it. But what impressed me last season is he averaged 3 assists a game, really looked to make plays for his teammates.
Holiday, no one around him. The three-pointer is right on target. Holiday's got 5 points so far.
With the success they've been having from the three-point line since halftime, I'll bet you that scoreboard starts to look a lot different real soon.
Partner, that's assuming they can continue that hot shooting. But if they do, and especially if they can get a few stops, you have to think they'll make this thing interesting.
And Cole kicks to Anderson. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Here's Cole. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Here's Hushik. Beat the shot clock, but it's off the mark. Up in time. No good trying to beat the buzzer. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Jazz lead by 18. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Energy Solutions Arena. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change. New Orleans gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. .153 left to play here in the fourth. Anderson dishes to Davis. Anderson passes to Holiday. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Well, it seems like this is something we've said quite a bit the last few years, but now we really feel like we're in a golden age for point guards. So many point guards on so many teams are the leaders and best players on their teams. You can name a dozen all-star level point guards in the league right now.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Perkins comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's Pondexter in for Drew Holiday. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. They've got Perkins. Norris Cole is out there with Quincy Pondexter. Then it's Omer Ashik. And it's Anderson in at the 3 spot. And Cole kicks to Ashik. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Jazz.
You're right, Steve. It was a standout performance across the board. They were just, at times, seemed toying with it.
Yeah, like watching a cat play with a mouse, Kevin, quite honestly. They were able to do more or less, whatever they wanted to do.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And, Greg, we know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Gordon Hayward. He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Here's Ingles, defended by Anderson. Ingles passes to Freak. Latrey. Rebound by Pondexter. Here's Cole. The kick out to Anderson. Here's Cole. The shot misses.
The spin freed him up, but he just couldn't follow through with the shot.
And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
No question about it, Kevin.
Well, Derek, you guys came.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan player of the game, Gordon Hayward. He was the engine that drove this team the whole night, and his teammates had no problem harnessing the power of that motor.
You got to love Gordon Hayward. He's going to get you rebounds, he's going to get you assists, and you know he's going to get you points.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgments might shadow his actual character. He's not that at all. Man, Vic, let me tell you something. We have love for each other. We're brothers. Blood couldn't make us any closer at all. I mean, he has so much loyalty to me and to my family. You could see even Cece, has issues with him, but he still loves her. He still loves her.
Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's gonna do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home?
Everyone's in their seats here at the Oracle Arena as the Golden State Warriors look to grab a win in front of the home crowd here. For the Utah Jazz, they come in off a good outing against... entirely new group here. Freaks checked in for Rudy Gobert. Trevor Booker comes in for Derek Favors. Alec Burks checked in for Hood, and Trey Burks subbed in for Dante Exum. Taking a look at the Jazz. Burks the off guard with Hayward at the 3. Booker out there with Freak, and it's Burke in at the 1 spot. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play.
And how about Harrison Barnes, the Black Falcon? I mean, he was a high school phenom in Ames, Iowa, and a lottery pick back in 2012 after 2 seasons at Carolina. Remember also in high school he was a teammate of Dougie McBuckets.
And the basket good.
He's yours. He's yours.
1:10 left in the first quarter. Kicks it to Spates. Passes to Barnes. Golden State moving the ball around. Barnes sets a screen for Barbosa. Right through the D for the layup. Barbosa's got his first 2 points of the night.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
He had a great field goal percentage to start, exactly what they were hoping for.
There's the bucket, good.
Lovely dish by Columbus's own Trey Burke.
Warriors leading by 5. Now Barbosa, 11 points for him in that last game against Milwaukee. Spates sets a screen. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Nailed from three-point land.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Hayward kicks to Burke. Down low, here's Burks. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Burks has got 6. Golden State's gone 3 of 4 on three-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range. Now here's Thompson. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Milwaukee.
Yeah, but he was also a force on the defensive side. 2 block shots and also altered a ton of shots.
A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. Warriors ahead, up by 6. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we... And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the look here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Harrison Barnes comes in for Green. Thompson, he's checked in for Leandro Barbosa. And it's Livingston in for Curry. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Freaks checked in for Gobert. Booker comes in for Derek Favors. Burks, he's checked in for Gordon Hayward. And Trey Burks subbed in for Dante Exum. Thompson and Iguodala on the perimeter. Maurice Spates out there with Harrison Barnes. And it's Livingston in at the point. That's the Warriors 5.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Suns was a major factor. He had 9 points, and he was just about on target from everywhere, hitting from deep as well as sinking his free throws. A bit of a surprise attack for him, as he is usually just regarded as a role player on his team.
And Doris, thank you so much. He couldn't have been much better in that game, could he, GA?
Not at all. He was great. I mean, that's for sure. If he wasn't at his best, he was awfully close.
Guys, he came to compete and win. Let's hope he's got that same attitude, that same energy, that same swag here tonight.
Clock is at 3. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Boy, I tell you, the Warriors did something that no other team had ever done before. They ended the regular season ranked first in field goal percentage and field goal percentage defense. Essentially, they were the best offensive and defensive team in the league. Remarkable.
And both free throws good from Freak. Last season for the Warriors really dominated from beginning to end to lead the league, and Greg, both offensive and defensive efficiency.
And Kevin, a lot of people knew the Warriors were good at offense. I mean, but they've been equally as good defensively over the past few seasons, kind of flying under the radar for whatever reason. Not the case going forward.
They grab their own miss. Booker misses the layup. Last outing for Golden State, they won that game against Milwaukee.
And then in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Takes the 3. Burke can't get it to go.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Warriors lead by 18. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Steph, what's been the key to what's working well out there for you guys right now?
Defensive end. We rebound the ball.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Klay Thompson has been sensational.
How about the magic touch he had on display there in that first half in terms of finding his team?
Look here for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Bogut. Harrison Barnes comes in for Andre Iguodala. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Freaks checked in for Rudy Gobert. Trevor Booker comes in for Derek Favors. Burks, he's checked in for Rodney Hood. And Trey Burke subbed in for Exum. Taking a look at the Jazz. Pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. Hayward out there with Trevor Booker. And it's Freak in at the 5 down low. And stolen by Spates. Down low, here's Livingston. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Goes up at the stripe. Rebounded by the Jazz. Last time they met was in Utah.
And nothing to be ashamed about in that game. It was a great effort, I thought, all around. They just needed to have 1 or 2 breaks go their way.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, both teams, I thought, played well enough to win the ball game, and yet it doesn't work out that way. There are no ties, so unfortunately, they were the ones who came up short.
Here's Burke. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. There's a good screen.
blocking foul called on Leandro Barbosa. That's his first personal foul, first team foul.
50 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Booker. Here's Freak. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on Maurice Spates.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
Stay on him.
The Utah Jazz saw one of the biggest year-to-year improvements in the league last season. The big part of that, of course, was their play on the road.
And, you know, Kevin, they nearly doubled their road wins from last season by getting 17 away from home. And I thought they progressively got better as the season wore on.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Burke, the pass to Burks. Here's Booker. And the layup is good.
And you're going to take as many of those high percentage shots as you can get.
Warriors leading by 16. Here is Livingston. Out left to the wing. And here is Spates. And stolen by Burke. Buried from outside. But I don't know. I think we may see a review here. That was pretty close. And not so fast. The officials are going to check that shot again and make sure they got it right before we go to the fourth.
And a chance here to just double-check the ruling on the floor. I wasn't sure if he got it off in time or not, so I appreciate the second look as well.
And you know what? We're watching exactly what the officials are seeing, Greg, from the NBA.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything.
On the court.
Curry with it. He has the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. Barnes and Green are the forward set. And it's Bogut and at the center filling out the middle. That's the Warriors' 5.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Exum with it, picked up by Thompson. Exum kicks to Freak. Green with the rebound.
He's not necessarily a strong inside presence, but he needs to polish those chances off.
And there's the call on Gordon Hayward. That's his third foul of the game.
And one thing about the NBA, there are a ton of siblings currently playing in the league. Some on the same team, some on opposing sides, but there must be over a half a dozen sets of siblings. He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Looking at the game for Hayward, he's got 24 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
And he sinks the second.
Boy, he'd sure like to have that miss back. Hard to chip away at a lead when you're leaving freebies at the line. And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Warriors.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Shot quality and better overall shooting.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And by making sharp in-game adjustments, they've really taken control of this season series, guys. This win tonight will move their record to 2-0 with 2 left to play against the Jazz.
And we've come to expect nothing less from one of the league's elite players, but another tour de force for Klay Thompson. Every time there was a big possession or a big play, he was a major contributor. Just a great all-around game.
As you said, Greg, there are a ton of sibling pairs in the NBA. Even more, Clark, if you include the D-League.
Well, you start with the Plumlees, the Gasols, the Teagues, Zellers. For twins, you have the Lopez twins, Morris twins, the Zellers, Gasols, Teagues, Steph, and Seth Curry. Count 2 with the D-League.
That's a lot. That's a lot. There's the pick. Livingston kicks to Barnes. Spates dishes to McAdoo. 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. To the right side. Spates, the pass to Livingston. Some nice passing by Golden State here. Just 5 to shoot. For 3, Barbosa. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
Yeah, they were clicking.
Yes, Kevin, here with Andre Iguodala. And what's the key for you?
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back.
Thompson. Klay Thompson is everything you want in a swingman. Long and athletic, a staunch defender, and a terrific passer. But let's not forget what makes him truly special, that silky smooth jump shot. Thompson is...
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the...
The only color I care about is green, money. Now, you've certainly made some money so far.
Mr. Dom Pagnotti.